Hello and welcome to Equipped, the career training video series brought to you by Career Services. So you've written a competitive resume and now you've been called to come in for an interview. In this video, we will be giving you some tips and insights for effective interviewing to help you land that job. Let's get started. You should know that there are actually several different types of interviews that may take place. You may be going to an on-campus interview, or you may first have to go through a telephone screening interview in which the employer will ask some preliminary questions before they decide if they want to interview you in person. Or there may be a series of interviews conducted either over several days or all in one day with several different people. For interviews in person, keep in mind that they may take several different forms. The directed interview has a definite structure and a list of specific questions. A non-directed interview tends to be less structured, and the interviewer may ask broad, general questions and not take charge of the interview. A group interview is one where several candidates are interviewed all at once, and a board-style or panel interview involves more than one interviewer asking questions. Before going into your interview, keep in mind the 4 R's. Reflect on your previous experience, your interests, values, and goals, and what you have to offer. Research the company or organization as much as possible, and use this information in the interview to answer questions. Rehearse with a friend by having them ask you questions so that you may practice an answer. Try to identify 3 to 5 stories that you can talk about as answers to questions. Stories will make you more memorable to the interviewer. Prepare some questions to ask the employer at the end of the interview. We'll discuss this more later. And lastly, remember what you have learned about the company and what you are going to say. That first R was reflect, in which you will think about some of the things you have to offer. Consider these points in your reflection. What kind of education and experience do you have? What makes you unique? What positive things have people said to you, and how well do you handle challenges? Questions like these may help you answer questions about yourself better in an interview. Once you are in the interview, remember some of these points. Be sure to show enthusiasm for the job and help the employer see that you really want to work for their particular company and you're not just trying to get any old job. Be sure to maintain eye contact with the employer. Elaborate on your answers and be sure to ask them questions as well to be sure that you gave complete answers and to allow for a more equal exchange of dialogue. Try to show that you are at ease and not overly nervous, and be sure to maintain proper etiquette, such as professional dress, offering a handshake, and sitting properly. Let's talk a bit about dressing professionally for an interview. For men, a shirt and tie is a must and may be accompanied by a sport coat or a suit depending on the employer. For women, a pantsuit or a jacket and skirt with a non-revealing blouse are usually appropriate. Be sure you are well groomed. Do not have any visible body piercings beyond conservative ear piercings for women. Do not chew gum, keep jewelry to a minimum, and have a conservative, well-groomed hairstyle. In your research of the company, be sure to check out any rules or suggestions they have for appropriate dress. What you say in an interview is not the only thing that the employer will be looking at. Nonverbal communication, such as a firm handshake, energetic but not overly nervous appearance, appropriate humor, and a smile will go a long way in winning over the interviewer. Show the interviewer that you have genuine interest in their company. Fully explain how you are qualified for the job. Show pride in your past accomplishments and express well-thought-out ideas. Donald Asher, noted author on careers, recommends some of the following rules for interviewing. Call and confirm the day before the interview to be sure that you are all on the same page and you know the schedule for the day. Are you only interviewing with one person or several? Are they taking you on a tour of the company? Are you having a meal with them during the interview? Look your best and be sure that you arrive early for the interview time. Nothing will cause you to lose out on a potential job like being late for the interview. You may think that it is difficult to practice for an interview because you do not know what they are going to ask. However, most interviewers generally ask questions in one of 2 ways, so it is possible to plan answers for these types of questions ahead of time. There are always the classic interview questions such as, tell me about yourself, why do you want to work here, and what are your strengths and weaknesses? Plan answers for these general types of questions since you are guaranteed to get at least some of them in an interview. There are also behavioral interviewing questions in which the interviewer is trying to see how you would react to a situation or how you have handled certain situations in the past. Let's take a closer look at some of the general and behavioral questions that you may be asked. General questions may include, why do you want to work for this company? Use your research to help answer this question. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Have 3 of each ready for this question and show how you have used your strengths on the job and how you work to overcome your weaknesses. What contributions can you make to our company? Show pride in your previous experience or education and tell a story to answer this. What makes you the right person for the job? Again, pride in your accomplishments and research on the company can help you with an effective answer. Behavioral questions may include, tell us about a time you had to adapt to a difficult situation. What kinds of challenges did you face in your last job? Tell us about a time you had to deal with a difficult customer, or tell us about a time when you had to use your verbal communication skills. To answer questions such as these, consider the following. First of all, be sure you completely answer the question and don't go off on a tangent about something else. Provide specific examples and tell stories to answer questions like this. Often a good tactic is to begin your answer with a very specific example and then show how you can generalize that to another setting. If you are not sure you fully answered the question, or just to show the employer interest and develop a rapport with them, be sure to ask some follow-up questions after your answer. These may include some of the follow-up questions you see here. At the end of the interview, you will probably be asked if you have any questions for the interviewer. You should always come to the interview prepared to ask some questions of them. It shows your desire to learn more about the company and shows a high level of interest in the job. Some ideas for questions to ask them may include those you see here. These are perfectly appropriate questions to ask any employer and will give you some valuable information about the job. Just be sure that you never ask any questions about salary or vacation time in an interview. Once the interview is over, always thank the interviewer for their time, shake their hand, and be sure to follow up with a thank you letter or email. Why send a thank you? A thank you by note or email will open the door to you to call for an update on the decision process. It will get your name back in front of the interviewer. It will leave you open to further contact from the employer, and it is not done by many job candidates and will simply make you look more polite than the rest of the crowd trying to get the job. APU's Career Services offers a mock interview appointment in which you can come in to practice your interviewing skills. If you would like more help with interviewing, writing your resume, job search, choosing a major, or more, please contact us at Career Services. We're located in Magnolia Court, right next to the Student Health Center, or you can call us at 626-815-2103. We hope this information has been helpful to you as you prepare for an interview. Thank you for looking to Career Services for help, and good luck to you in your future career.